I think we are recording. Yes, we are recording.
Are we?
Yes.
Okay, good. Good.
I love how OBS it doesn't have. Oh, I finally found my red button. It's like all the way at the bottom and it's fucking tiny.
So you thought that the record button was just a totally different button?
No. Like the indicator that you are recording. You don't actually click it.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're eating soup,
Yes. Hell yeah.
as we were saying.
Yes.
Where did we stop? We were about to go down a cool tangent, and that's why I made you start recording. Oh yeah, if you're gonna make if you're gonna make fun of me for making pretzels, at least call me a Jew instead of gay.
You know what? I will call you whatever I want.
You know what? I don't know why I tempted you. It was gonna come eventually.
I mean,
Um,
well, I won't call you transgender because that's the hot button issue. I don't want to be
that's
transphobic.
that's what I was gonna say. Is that don't you know that gay isn't the new thing anymore to be offended about?
Well, exactly. Look, if I'm going to insult you, I can't upset Twitter.
I like how you, not having a Twitter, having never had a Twitter, is worried about whether you can upset Twitter or not by saying an insult.
Yep. I think somebody actually made me a Twitter one time.
Yeah.
I don't know the username or the password or the name.
So there's just a bot of you somewhere that exists posting propaganda. Probably.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes, there is.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened to my account that I made when I was in like high school too, and then proceeded to never use. I gave it a try. It wasn't doing it for me.
Should I make a Twitter?
Are you gonna do something cool with it?
No.
Oh, okay. Then yes, that's what it's for.
No, wait.
Cool things don't belong on Twitter.
Yeah, that's TikTok.
Right.
Oh, so I was watching basketball like right before we started.
That's right. It's aren't we in March Madness right now?
Yeah.
Seeing that it
So,
is in fact March.
yep. So I was watching Duke and Michigan State. Guy's shooting free throws. So he makes the first free throw. And then all of a sudden you just at one of those like bottom banner ads starts playing. So you just hear
Right.
Ooh,
It was the Halo ad playing while the ball was in midair.
right before it's like the announcer calls it out. There's like up, hold on, wait, one ad. So yes, the commentators do know what fucking ads are playing during the middle of the game. Apparently,
Well, remember that for when a controversial one comes.
Yes.
Something that's not just Halo.
Yes.
Who's even a good basketball team this season in college wise? For listeners, Nick is the sports person. I am not. I am just passively aware. So don't be surprised if I just don't know stuff.
Well, Duke is a favorite.
Okay.
Gonzaga. Baylor was a 1 seed. They've already lost.
Who, Baylor?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They lost in the second round.
Well,
Yep.
so much for that.
Yep.
Have there been any good upsets this year, or has it been pretty much scripted?
Yeah, actually, Kentucky lost to a 15 seed.
Oh no, I saw that. Shoot, what was the school? It was a tiny one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It's one of the Catholic schools,
Yeah.
or maybe not. I don't know.
Hold on. See, the beauty of having a smartphone.
Yeah, you can just look for it.
It was. If I can use my eyes to see.
That is a problem that you have.
That is true.
Your ant destroyer glasses.
If I could look on the right day, that would help too.
that would indeed help. So far, you are unable to see and unable to type. possibly because of your inability
Yep.
to see.
It was St. Peter's.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely a small Catholic school.
Yeah. 85-79 in overtime.
Oof. In overtime, too.
Yep. So they were tired.
Yeah. Well, I hope no one was thinking about drafting Kentucky players this year.
Oh, I'm sure two will go in the first round.
Well, they always do for some reason.
Yep. I mean, right now, essentially, it's the year that if Duke doesn't win it all,
Yeah.
it's Coach K's final year. So this is my theory, right?
Okay.
If Duke loses, one of two things will happen.
Got it.
Either A, Coach K will kill himself and then haunt his team for the rest of their lives.
And he's not even like an aggressive haunter. He just kind of slowly follows them around with a visible scowl and his arms folded.
Or
They're
B,
just stuck with that forever.
or B, he will live until he's like 200. Just so that he can attend every single one of their funerals.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think it's much skin off that man's back if he doesn't win one championship.
Well, they've already pissed him off.
Oh, what they do.
So his final home game, they lose to North Carolina. Their biggest rival.
Yeah, that's not the one to do it.
No, that's like
No.
the college basketball rivalry.
No. Oh, speaking of not rivalries, but sports. So you told me the other day that the Steelers, well, did they trade or did they just sign as a free agent, Mitch Trubisky?
I think they signed. I can't. Yeah, I think
Okay,
they
I
signed.
prefer.
him
I would
outright.
prefer they signed rather than traded for that. But so on my Instagram, I follow a couple of Steelers fan pages just so that I'm up on the news that when my family inevitably asks. And they have a couple posts going around of him where he's like, "Hey, I'm a Steeler now. I'm really excited." Like he's leaning into it.
Oh yeah.
So I'm getting ready for a big letdown. And a very angry fan base too. Maybe not so angry. It depends exactly how bad he is, but he kind of has gotten the excuse of, well, he lost his number one wide receiver in the offseason because Juju's gone now.
Yep. Then, well, it's funny because the rest of that division is just stacked at quarterback. Like,
I know the Steelers are going to have a tough run of it no matter what they do next season.
oh, they're fucked.
Anyone in that division will, but the Steelers especially this year.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm looking forward to seeing what the Browns are going to do because they have Baker, who they can.
Wait, just stop right there. Tell the story about what happened with Baker Mayfield over the last week. That's worth it.
So, the Cleveland Browns owner and general manager decide to fly down to Houston in order to talk to quarterback Deshaun Watson personally in order to like convince him to waive a no trade clause so that they can trade to acquire his services.
Right. The same Deshaun Watson that has been sitting out for the last year because he's got several legal cases pending.
No, not several.
Maybe not anymore, but
No, not several. 22.
22 legal cases pending. Sorry.
Yeah.
Probably has an impending suspension on the way and may not play half the season.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be minimum
that
6
much
games
for him. Right.
Yeah. So originally he told them no. And then they basically bragged about going to see him. So Baker's then like, okay, trade me. They say no.
Yeah, of course.
And then he changes his mind.
Wait, who changes his mind? Deshaun or Baker?
Deshaun changes his mind. So now he's going to Cleveland.
Okay.
in exchange for 3 first-round picks, I think 1 second-round
Jesus
pick,
Christ.
and then we're going to swap Durham a 4th-round pick for Houston's 5th.
3 first-round picks, a second-round pick, and a 4th-round pick in exchange for Deshaun Watson and a single 5th-round pick.
Yep.
Who is running that office?
Oh, it gets even crazier, too. Here, let me pull up the contract.
Is there a written contract out somewhere now?
Essentially, they restructured the contract to pay him a metric fuck ton. Hold on, let's see if I can find the numbers. Because it's kind of ridiculous.
It comes up when I search Deshaun Watson. One of the autofill options is contract.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at it now too. So 5 years, $230,000.
Yep.
Sorry, $230 million.
Yes, million.
Right, $45 million signing bonus.
And
$230 million is guaranteed at signing.
Yeah, it's all guaranteed. It's fully guaranteed. And here's the crazy thing on the thing. For this season, his base salary this season is only $1 million because they expect him to get suspended. That way, the loss in pay only comes out of that suspension.
Yeah, I'm looking at the breakdown too, and I just realized that it's 46 million base every year except for the first one. I mean, maybe that's also like a cap room thing though too, because it only gives a $10 million cap hit versus like 60 million for every other year after that.
Yeah,
so maybe that's part of it.
But I think that was part of the reason why he agreed, was because after he said no, they basically said, "Here, we'll give you a massive ass deal with only $1 million in the first year, so that you only lose a little bit of money."
Right.
Because it's not
as if it was hard for anyone to live off of $1 million for a year.
Yeah. I mean, in all fairness, he's probably starving right now because even though the grand jury didn't indict him, he still has 22 civil cases to beat.
22 cases.
And a massive fucking legal bill right now.
At this point, why does the NFL even tolerate having a player that obviously has not shown good conduct off the field to be in this position in the first place? Like, I feel like other players have had situations where they've seen like maybe 2 or 3 lawsuits at once, and then they've been cut from the NFL.
Yeah.
So
money.
I mean, yeah, but it's not like some of those other players haven't had money. I mean, one that comes to mind is Ray Lewis, which was, I think it was Ray Lewis. No, Ray Rice from Baltimore. Yeah, that's it.
No, Ray Lewis was facing murder charges.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ray Rice, domestic abuse, 1 lawsuit, out. He was blacklisted, if not completely banned from the NFL. But this guy's got like 22 of, what is it, potentially sexual abuse?
Sexual assault and sexual harassment.
Jesus Christ. Why is that all, especially in the current political climate where everyone's mad about what gender they are? I feel like that's a little bit more relevant.
That's not gender, that's sex, man. Like, gender and sex are different. Come on.
Well, yeah, but do we know if they were all women or biological women?
Yes, they were all women.
Prove it. I'm kidding. I don't really care. But still, I mean, it's 22 cases. This is a high-profile thing in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Why has nothing been done to him? He doesn't have that much money, I don't think, up until this contract.
Well, I think the idea is that he's going to make the NFL a shitload of money. Yeah.
I don't know about that. I really don't.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know the complete financial story of the National Football League, so.
I don't either, but I mean, I guess controversial players do tend to make more money.
Yeah.
But I mean, is he really that much of a personality? Like when this stuff isn't going on?
I mean, he basically single-handedly made the Houston Texans, watchable.
Well, yeah,
Not
but it
not
didn't.
good,
It's
but watchable.
right, but good, but
And
not.
yeah, and I think he was one of the QBs you would see in commercials fairly often.
Well, yeah, but I feel like making a below average team watchable but not good isn't really enough to make you that high impact of a like Ryan Fitzmagic could probably do that to Houston at this point in his career.
Maybe. I mean,
I think he could.
that Houston team is bad.
Oh yeah, but I don't think Deshaun Watson's that good of a quarterback either. That he's the only difference maker.
Maybe. Well, I mean, with him, they would go about 4 wins. Without him, they went down to 2 wins.
Yeah, because their entire game plan is around him.
Yeah,
So if he's not there, they just suck because they're missing the centerpiece.
pretty
You have to
much.
restructure the offense so it doesn't rely on one player all the time.
Yep. I love football sometimes.
It's so ridiculous.
If you want more sports, I'm currently angry at the McLaren F1 race team.
Why would a McLaren do?
So they partnered with Lego, so
Oh dear.
essentially they made a Lego set that's just their car, you know.
Uh-huh.
So if you're gonna partner with Lego, at least be good. Like the
And they were
race,
not.
no, they were fucking terrible. Like,
Yeah.
holy crap, they were slow.
They tried, I guess.
I'm like, if you're gonna do that, at least get top 3.
Hope the Lego money was worth it.
Yeah, me too. I mean,
Oh, speaking of speaking of F1, what you were telling me earlier, I guess Ferrari doesn't publicly trade their stocks during the season. Is it just during the season, do you think?
I'm not sure if it's that or if it's just Robin Hood doesn't have access to it.
I feel like they probably have access to it because they're owned by a
Well,
bigger company.
well, another one I've noticed is you can't trade stock on the Green Bay Packers, who's also publicly owned.
Right. Are they
And
publicly
they,
owned?
yeah,
Huh.
um,
Who'd have thunk?
yeah, I think early last season they opened up trading again for him.
That's pretty cool,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, like you can own a piece of the Green Bay Packers. They're be
Yeah.
I think they're the only major sports franchise to do that.
Yeah, in the States.
Yeah, definitely in the States. I'm not sure if any other country has that though. I'm not sure. I'd have to research it.
I mean, technically, Ferrari is both a car maker and a sports team. So there's one,
True.
apparently.
True. I guess it kind of depends on how you look at motorsport. You know,
Yeah, I guess so.
because if Ford entered into F1 again, which then yeah, they would be a corporation because you
Right.
can
Publicly
trade
traded
Ford.
company that is also a sports team now.
Yeah. So really, it's just motorsport and the Packers.
Right.
Apparently, Aaron
I mean,
Rodgers is actually a motorcycle.
it kind of makes sense that a sports team wouldn't be tradable publicly. To a point, especially knowing that it's the industry standard. Because you could totally rig professional sports.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm sure it happens. So it makes sense that you would just bar and
Oh
start
my
trading
God.
completely by not allowing those to be traded.
Yeah. Did you hear about the Calvin Ridley suspension?
Who's Calvin Ridley?
So I think he's a wide receiver. I know he plays for the Falcons.
Okay.
So he just got suspended for the entire year.
The entire year. Okay.
Yes. 1 year suspension at minimum. It may cost him his whole career.
Oh
So
yeah. What did he do?
so what he did He made a series of bets totaling about $10,000
That doesn't
on,
seem like a big sum of money for a year-long suspension. This is going to get good.
well, essentially, he was dumb enough to do it on one of those like betting accounts using his actual name and like all his actual personal information. And he decided to place bets on the Falcons to win football games, which
All right, hang on. I, I get. Is that something that's not normally allowed for players to bet on teams?
not on your. The NFL does have a policy where you're not allowed to bet on any NFL games at all.
Yeah.
Legally speaking, it's a gray area to bet on your own team to win, but it's highly
but you can't to
illegal.
lose.
Yeah, that's called point
Yeah,
shaming.
because you could. Yeah, well, you can just throw.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get that.
Now here's the thing: is he knew what the consequences were going to be. Like,
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sure that was spelled out to him basically
yeah.
when he signed his contract.
yeah. Well, apparently, like, you can if you look at an NFL locker room, they have posters saying "Don't do this shit." Do not bet on games.
Yeah.
And I think essentially he risked $10,000
Okay.
and wound up losing about 19 million.
How much does this man make per year?
About 19 million.
Oh, nice. Gonna live off those college savings, huh?
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yep, he's probably going to be cut from the Falcons, is the leading belief.
I mean, I kind of figure that probably learned him his lesson.
You would think. Well,
I would have
oh
just
my
let
God.
that one sit and went, well, sucks to suck.
Well, you would think. But here's the problem.
Yeah.
Right after all this came down, he decided to go to Twitter.
Oh, no. Not Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Nothing but Twitter.
The one that I found most hilarious was, people, I only bet $10,000 total. I don't have a gambling problem.
That's more than most people have at all.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think I forget where I read this, but it was a while ago, so it might have changed by now. But the average American, the average monetary worth of each American is like somewhere below negative $10,000, just because everyone carries debt around, or most people do these days.
Well, does that include mortgages?
I think that particular one was excluding mortgages.
Because I mean, if you include mortgages,
Yeah, I mean, if you have a mortgage, then there goes like $100,000.
Yeah. But it doesn't really say anything bad about your total financial situation. Because you have $100,000+ in debt, but you also don't have a rent payment, so it kind of just balances. And most of the time, your mortgage is actually less than your rent.
Right, over time, yeah.
Yeah. No, not even over time. Like,
you mean just like the payment?
Yeah, month to month, the payments are just lower.
Yeah, it usually is.
Usually.
Unless
you upgrade,
or unless you move in a major developed urban area.
Yeah. Here's the secret.
I did a. What's the secret?
Live in the middle of buttfuck nowhere.
I mean, you're not wrong. I looked the other day, just because I was curious. I live in the greater Philadelphia area, and I'm a ways off from actually like thinking about buying a house right now. But I looked because I was curious to see like what was the running price for your basic starter home kind of deal, fixer upper. And I mean, it's like north of $200,000 anywhere within like 10, 15 miles of me. I have to go like 50 miles inland to start getting a reasonable price. And that's just like a drop from here. That's not really like this house is actually worth what's listed price is. It's
That
not
is
good.
no, that's pretty damn awful.
It's bad. So I'm definitely going to wait on that one for a while, at least assuming that I stay here for an extended period of time,
Yeah.
which I kind of hope that I do, but we'll see.
Huh. According to realtor.com, I could sell my house right now for looks like over $20,000 more than what I paid for it.
That sounds like a low ball. You should ask for more.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. If I sell,
Yeah,
we're asking 200.
right. That's like 70,000 more than you actually bought that for, isn't it?
Yeah,
You
about
you bought it like 130.
yeah, well under 130.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, speaking of places for sale, so I think I told you about this already, but you know
Yeah.
when you're driving to my parents, how there's
Oh yeah, you did. You
going
did.
down 68, the road you turn on to get to them is there's like a vet clinic, and then there's a house right on the other side of the vet clinic. It's a really shabby looking place. It can't be more than like it would be probably 1,000 square feet, being generous to it.
Mhm.
Um, looks like it's a small, like kind of a crawl space second story. And it has an old hangar in the back. At least it looks like a hangar and a pole barn. The place has not been well taken care of at all. It always just looks like crap. It needs new everything, I bet, once you look at the inside. But it came up for sale recently. So out of curiosity, again, I looked, and
Mhm.
that was selling for $180,000.
Jesus Christ.
Now, to be fair, there was actually land in the two other structures that come with that.
It
So
it better
maybe
be
not quite that far fetched, but
it
it's
better
still
be
not.
fertile. It better be
It's
fertile farmland.
it must be because everything there is farmland in that
Yeah.
area except for the vet's office and that one development.
Yeah. Well, it's actually
So
funny because if you want to buy like farmland, you're gonna pay like $1 million.
oh
Like,
yeah, it's not cheap,
uh-uh.
not at all.
But at the same time, you can make bank as a farmer if you own the land.
Yeah, that's the big part of it, though,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Like it essentially, as long as you own everything, you'll make a lot of money, assuming that you don't have a bunch of droughts.
You got to own the land, and you also got to buy all the equipment
Oh
and
yeah, like
seed and
it's
fertilizer, and just there's
yeah.
so much crap that you need for a
I
big
mean,
farm like that.
yeah, it's a very high upfront cost, but
Yeah,
you should make it back relatively quickly. But also at the same time, a lot of these farms are generational, so
right. They just kind of are there in the family, and you just keep working it, and it keeps working for you.
yeah, essentially. So essentially, if so, say your great grandpa, we'll call him Joe. Fuck Joe.
That's unfortunate, but okay.
But so great grandpa Joe, who's better than Grandpa Joe, because fuck Grandpa Joe.
We call him Sleepy Joe, but okay.
No. Grandpa Joe is from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, you're talking about a whole different Joe. Okay.
What is up with Joes and just being awful?
You know what? It must run with the name.
Because I'm pretty sure great grandpa Joe owned slaves.
I mean, he probably did.
I
If he
mean,
was in
look,
fact, well, actually, no. Great grandpa for Charlie in the 70s would have been alive. He would have been in his prime probably after the Civil War, so he probably wouldn't have been
yeah.
rich enough to own slaves.
Wait. Where was this? Do you know where that was based out of? Like what state?
It was snowing at least in the remake. It was snowing, and it looked like it was an industrial area because I mean it was a big factory. It's not like that would just pop up in the middle of nowhere. So I
So,
would assume somewhere in the Northeast
hold on.
or Midwest.
Andy chocolate. Yes, I am typing this in.
Yeah, I know. I can tell by your mumbling.
Setting.
I wonder if it actually says it in the book. It doesn't really seem important in the grand scheme of the story, but now it is.
Well, it was shot in Munich.
Munich. or München. That's probably not the right German pronunciation, but I tried.
I did not try.
Yeah, I can tell. Munich. You would be shot on the spot for saying that there.
I mean, it might be the United Kingdom.
I mean, it could be, but that still fits my parameters of north and industrial area.
Maybe. But I do think that you're more likely to have farmland in the shitty urban area in the UK because, well, the UK is weird.
It's also small.
Yeah, and small.
They do, in fact, have farmland, but yeah, they don't have like the giant swaths of just ruralness that we have here.
Yeah. God.
I
So
I
bad.
think the original one might have been set somewhere in the UK. I don't remember if it was really English, but
But
no, because it was Gene Wilder. That was in America somewhere.
but would great grandpa Joe own slaves? If we're
Okay,
assuming he
let's
lived in England.
right. Well, let's do some quick math here to establish his age. The what do we have any source on what the book/movie calls him says his age is? I don't even know if this was a book first or not.
It was.
Okay. Well, while you're finding that, I'll use the benchmark of 70 years old to base my calculations off of. 'Cause you could feasibly be a great grandparent by that age. Um, so if he's 70 years old and that movie was first released in the 1970s, question
Uh-huh.
mark. So that would mean he would have been born around 1900. So slavery would have been right out in the UK by that point easily. Because they were done with slavery in like,
Okay.
I want to say the 1830s, 1840s.
So
It existed.
the book was published in the 1920s, from what I can tell.
Okay.
I might be totally wrong on that because I can barely see the screen. It's that far away.
Well, that changes the game then. Hang on.
And I don't think the year is actually stated, so it's just kind of assumed to be modern day, I guess.
Right. So the movie is 1971, and the technology in the movie matches the 70s.
Yeah. But the technology in the book matches the 20s.
Okay, so you have to work with the metaverse kind of deal.
Yeah.
So if it's in the 70s, then no, UK or US, there would not have been any slavery, although there definitely would have been more
Well,
segregation and racial persecution
yeah.
in the US.
And slavery in Mississippi.
Kind of, but okay. But if you're in the 20s, so that knocks his birth date back to like 1850.
Yeah.
Again, assuming he was 70 years old. So had he grown up in the South of the US, he probably would have seen slaves, probably not owned them because he would have come into the legal age to be able to own them after the Civil War when it was outlawed.
Yeah.
Um, Although he would have definitely seen the Ku Klux Klan as an adult be the Ku Klux Klan and then get stomped by Grant and then resurrect itself in the very late part of the 19th century into the 20th.
So what you're saying is he would have been in the Ku Klux Klan?
If he was Southern, yes.
I don't know. I think he would have maybe if he was Northern. You know, like he just seems racist to me. You know?
I don't really get that feeling. He's definitely a scumbag. I mean, he was able to walk for a ticket to the chocolate factory, but nothing else.
No. That
Um,
was his son. That was his son who did that. That was
no, but
great grandpa Joe.
oh, great grandpa
Yeah.
Joe.
Yeah, I'm saying
Yeah.
great grandpa Joe owned slaves who was a racist.
Okay. Then no. I mean, he was probably racist, but he didn't own slaves.
Okay. Grand Wizard of the KKK, then. That's what we're talking.
Okay. Speaking of farming, which is where that tangent began at. So I don't be a farmer in places where there is not a natural water supply. looking at everyone in the U.S. Southwest right now.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, I shouldn't say once again, it's never not been a problem for the last 20 years, but the Colorado River has a diminished flow, more so now than it ever has been, so far as we know, to the point where Lake Powell, the big reservoir of that river, behind one of the dams, I forget which one, that lake is at like 10% capacity now. And
Huh.
that's a reservoir that fills everything from Arizona in like a diagonal line southwest from after Las Vegas.
So you're saying that I should not open up a farm in Arizona?
Or Southern California.
Yeah, yeah.
You would think that kind of goes without saying because those regions are largely desert.
Yep.
Um, but apparently not. Apparently that's
What?
a big problem there.
What do you mean? There's palm trees in SoCal.
In San Diego, yeah. Not in
No,
Scottsdale.
no, and LA, and LA.
These are still coastal cities. You're missing the point.
Also, I think those palm trees are transplants too.
Oh, they most certainly are, and also palm trees don't really grow there without excessive water. I don't think, anyways. It's too dry for big plants like that. It's scrubland.
And hell, I think there's palm trees somewhere in Las Vegas. Oh, I'm
No, there
mistaken.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, it's even more obviously transplanted.
Do you think they're real palm trees or do you think they're fake?
They might be fake now to save water.
It's just
You
like,
know what? Let's just put some really good looking plastic ones there. They'll never know the difference. Everyone just drives by them anyways.
yeah, yeah. They all drive by
I can
them,
see that. I can see that.
usually drunkenly.
Well, at night it's drunk, yeah, but I mean they got to get there sober first.
Yeah. Well,
Just don't put the palm trees by the airport
right.
where people will actually be observant enough to actually figure it out.
Yeah. Put them inside the casino. They'll never guess.
No. Well, either A, they'll never guess, or B, they won't care because it's inside a casino. Who cares what the palm trees look like?
Look at our natural vegetation inside this casino.
Our natural vegetation that smells like rubber and oil.
Yes, these do not need sunlight.
The stark contrast between the entire American Southwest using too much water when they have none versus Florida's problem of we are a swamp. We don't want more water.
And New Orleans.
Oh, yeah. And New Orleans. You're right.
Why the hell would you build a major city below sea level?
Well, to be fair, the part that they actually built the city on wasn't below sea level. It just kind of expanded there over time.
I think Amsterdam has the same problem.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Amsterdam was actually built below sea level, though. That's the difference. They started it there.
Oh, Amsterdam.
And most of Venice is like that, too. Because the whole idea of Venice is like, it's a marshy swamp, the same idea as Amsterdam. But instead of just like leaving it at that level, I think what they did is they built Venice up and then just let the water flood the streets.
Yeah.
The primary idea being like defensiveness so that they couldn't really be threatened by the land and they just built up their navy.
I like him. It seems like any movie that's set in Venice, inevitably a building sinks.
Well, I mean,
Inevitably.
can you really go to Venice and have that not happen in an action movie?
Oh no, absolutely. Hell, I think I think the Bond film that was in Venice for a little bit sank like 4 buildings.
Jesus Christ!
Oh
You
yeah,
know what? Actually,
they're like that
I
city
think the
block underwater now.
the most recent Spider-Man movie. Well, actually, not the most recent one. I think it was the second one in
Yeah,
Tom Holland's Spider-Man
second one
trilogy.
was in Venice. Yeah.
Right. I don't. I don't really think they visibly sunk any buildings in that one. Actually, there was definitely some general destruction, but I don't think – anything just, whoosh under the water.
I think there was a building that was going to fall into the water.
That, well, kind of. It was going to fall like on people and parts of it into the water. But it was
Yeah.
like some tower, but Spider-Man pulled it with his webs and prevented that
Yeah.
from happening.
Which was, the most believable part of any comic book movie is a single man holding a building.
I mean, it's not worse than the train scene in the original Spider-Man. What, 2 or 3? I forget which movie that one's actually in.
True. Well, at least that version of Spider-Man actually has superpowers.
You're not wrong, but still, a train moving at full force with all the momentum of a train behind it, with just one guy holding on for dear life by millimeters thick threads from either arm, while somehow his body's not just pulling itself apart from all the pressure.
Or that scene in
It's a little egregious.
Or that scene in Captain America, one of those where he's like holding a helicopter with one arm.
Yeah, that was kind of crap. That wasn't great. At least if it was the Hulk, it kind of makes sense because he's indestructible anyways, but not so much Captain America.
Yeah, well, the Hulk is literally just a muscle. A big,
one cohesive muscle.
angry muscle.
I like to think that's what any muscle would turn into if you just stripped it from the human body.
Yeah.
Except smaller. Yeah. You just hear a and then you look down and the thing's beating your leg.
Ow! Ow! Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
I think in the Tom Holland Spider-Man movie we were talking about, though, it kind of makes sense that he didn't bring any buildings down because Mysterio is literally an illusion. Like, he's not actually fighting something.
Yeah.
So,
well,
yeah.
I don't think any actual destruction happens, actually. Like,
no,
very,
besides
very
the one
little.
tower. Yeah.
Like, very, very little. Because it's all an illusion.
Right.
Which you would think that's like...
Kind of obvious.
They would catch on very quickly, where it's like, oh, look, that building fell. Next day. Huh, remember when that building fell?
You bring up a good point. They never really addressed the idea that a hologram is just projecting all this stuff and it appeared in the skyline the next morning.
Yeah, what happens when the bulb burns out?
Well, apparently you discover who Mysterio is, because that's what happened.
Oh, Mysterio.
Are you drinking?
No, I'm eating soup.
No. Oh, yeah, you said that earlier.
Yeah, pay attention.
Thank you for that. That was unnecessary.
It was very necessary.
Okay, whatever.
Whatever.
So, cooking.
I thought you said cocaine.
All right, Brittany.
I thought you said cocaine. I was
What?
like, okay, we're going blow, huh? Okay. Here we go.
Go what?
Cooking.
Oh, cooking. Okay.
Yeah, I thought you said cocaine and not cooking.
No, not cocaine.
Man.
But if you want to talk about cocaine, we can, because I just thought of something.
Either one.
Okay, well, let's start with cocaine since we found ourselves there. So the Hunter Biden laptop story has resurfaced over the last week or so. You remember that from around election time in 2020 when that was a big deal?
Vaguely, yeah.
Okay, so the idea is that Hunter Biden forgot his laptop in some airport, and someone found it, and they tried to figure out who it was, and then they found a bunch of questionable, I won't say illegal yet, because I don't think that's actually been proven that he was doing any of the things that are there, some questionable photos, and they found out that the laptop belongs to Hunter Biden eventually.
Right.
So the popular story now is that someone somewhere, nobody seems to be able to present a name, but someone has proved that Hunter Biden was actually doing the things in those pictures, and that is actually him. And I mean, they're not great pictures. They're generally pretty hazy. And Hunter Biden looks generic enough that he could be mistaken for someone.
Yeah, I
Um,
can't even recall what that guy looks like.
he doesn't look that much like he's like Joe Biden, but like dollar store Joe Biden,
Huh.
if that makes sense.
I imagine he has a beard. I don't know why, I just imagine he
He's
does.
he's got like a weird scruff thing, but
Yeah,
anyways.
I can believe it.
So the reason this has to do with cocaine is because one of the pictures is just of the back of a credit card that is clearly covered in cocaine, unless for some reason they were snorting flour or sugar. Um,
I mean, look,
and
he could have dropped it into a vat of flour.
I'm not saying he didn't, but it doesn't look like
It
that.
happens to me all the time.
Happens to you all the time, does it?
Absolutely.
So, anyways, so this allegedly cocaine covered credit card has the name Malia Obama, as in President Barack Obama's daughter, Malia Obama, on it.
Yeah.
So that's the cocaine thing. It's just Hunter Biden is probably addicted to cocaine very publicly, and obviously illegally obtains it because it's not legal to have in the U.S. at all, so far as I know.
Yeah, I don't think any states have made that legal yet.
No, and there's videos all floating around too of Hunter, of others. I don't know if it comes from the laptop or where these videos are coming from, but it is pretty clearly Hunter Biden in those videos, and he's smoking something. You don't know because he just holds a pipe up and like huffs it while he's talking to someone.
Yeah.
But he's smoking something, and
Smoking.
he doesn't seem to be in a great mental state in any of these phone. They're like FaceTime calls basically, which makes you wonder how anyone even got a hold of them unless the recipient was recording.
Yeah. I
Which
don't
is,
know. I'm gonna take it all with a grain of salt. I
oh,
will.
I am. I don't really want to think too much about it
Yeah.
until we actually have hard facts. But at least the one video, it looks like it's plausible that maybe it was being recorded by the other end,
Maybe.
because it was about um, kind of a divorce. It seemed like it was a divorce case between his dead brother's wife and him. They were talking about divorce, but the people involved didn't make sense.
So wait. His dead brother's wife and
Right,
him.
right.
So is the wife getting a divorce from her dead husband, or is she getting a divorce from her dead husband's brother?
They don't say, but I would assume it's from her dead husband's brother that she probably married after the fact.
Who the hell
Because that's the
marries
only way that
their
conversation makes sense.
who the hell marries their dead husband's brother? Who does this?
Apparently, that lady, if this is true.
That's what you call a hoe? For
Yeah,
show.
sure is. Sure
Hoe for
is.
show.
No, that's what you call someone who wants money and sees a politically attractive person in front of them.
Maybe. I mean, look, if you want money and you're an attractive female,
Hmm.
what you do, you essentially you go to college basketball games, then
Yeah.
pick, whoever's gonna be like going into the first round of the NBA draft.
Uh huh.
Have them get you pregnant.
Yeah, it's not a bad way, actually.
Well, it happens like every year. Like the number of NBA players who have children fathered by Instagram models right now.
The best part is that they all become Instagram models.
No, they were already Instagram models.
Oh,
I
that's way less fun, but okay.
honestly, it's less fun, but it's actually more sad.
Yeah, a little bit.
Hell, I think one of them, the Instagram model, had literally released a book. It was basically a book about how to get a dumb athlete to give you a shitload of money by having a baby with them.
I feel like it's probably not that hard.
Yeah, but it was published.
Well, of course it was published. Have you seen the shit that
Uh,
is on bookstore shelves whenever you walk in?
well, it's right.
It's
Like
not good.
she literally published a book about this, and the guy still fell for it.
Wait, did she publish the book before he did it?
Yeah,
She did it to him?
yeah,
What a moron.
beforehand.
What a moron.
Like it is. It was not
That's just
hard.
a shame on you. That's just
Oh
a
yeah,
shame on you moment. He did that to himself.
exactly. Like it is not hard to figure out what she was after.
No. Did you find something?
No, my dog has invaded the podcast room.
Oh, okay. If by invaded you mean slowly sauntered in.
Yeah. Although I
And
think he's
probably
been
laid
laying
down
down
somewhere.
next to me for a while. He decided to stand up.
Oh, okay.
For some reason, when I use my computer sometimes, he likes to whine at me. I don't really
Oh,
understand
okay.
why. He just
I don't know.
like,
He must think it means something that it doesn't.
maybe, like, I don't know, maybe it's like, what, is the computer another dog? I'm like, no, it's not. It's literally a piece of technology. You are the only dog in this household right now.
So my dog Ralph was taken to the vet because he is bad like skin allergies, and he like chews at the space in between his paws until they're raw and bloody if you don't address it, because he can't eat like anything with any kind of food with chicken in it or certain kinds of protein because they cause it to get worse. So my parents who take care of him gave him the wrong kind of food, so they took him to the vet to get him steroids so he would quit chewing his paw. And the vet was all about how obese Ralph was because he doesn't really look like he's that fat.
Yeah.
But when you look at like the poster that the vet has up, you know, it's got 1, 2, 3. It's got like numbers and then pictures showing what each number means on like the obesity scale for dogs. It's like a 1 through 8 scale. Ralph is like a 7.
A 7?
and he doesn't even look that fat is the thing. Like, do you think he looks that fat?
I mean, last time I saw him, he looked all right.
I mean, he's chunky, but that's just kind of how he is, I thought.
Yeah. I mean, they told me, I remember they told me that Buddy was like 20 pounds overweight. Although I think he's lost most of it.
Yeah, he did lose weight.
But they didn't show me like a numerical chart.
Yeah, I don't know exactly where she found it, but it looked like my mom took a picture of it when she was in the office because it's just like a poster hanging on the wall. So I'm assuming that Ralph has been put on a diet at this point. Not that that will stop him from eating everything he can find because that's what he does.
Oh, yeah. No, unlike Buddy, Ralph is a hunter.
Yes.
Table scraps.
Everything.
Butter.
Not just table scraps.
Mostly butter. See, Buddy is a hunter of things he can personally murder.
Yeah. There was something else I wanted to talk about. I can't remember what it was though.
Yeah.
Oh well. That's what I was going to talk about. So over the last couple weeks, I got into the habit of like pulling up my Robinhood thing to look at my investments every couple minutes, just because
Yeah.
I do that at work. I'll just stop and look at my phone for a second to like refresh, kind of.
Yeah. It's fucking addicting.
Right, I know, right? But so I keep trying to do that on the weekend. And like, I'm starting to get mad that it doesn't update during the weekend that the stock exchange is closed.
Oh,
and it's
God,
irrational.
no.
I don't know why I'm so mad about that because it's not like I didn't know that going in.
I'm like, come on.
It's a very long established, we'll call it a custom of the market. And for me to be mad about that is just ridiculous because A, I've not, not been in it for that long, so why would I have any influence over it? B, so well, by that logic, why should they cater to me? Um, Not having nearly as much money as the people who actually matter in that world.
Yeah. That's funny.
But despite the idea that I can walk myself through that rationale, it doesn't make me any less irrationally upset about it.
Oh no, I know.
And I'm just waiting for that pent up rage to eventually be let out on the wrong person. And then the embarrassing conversation has to be had. Why are you mad at me? I'm mad because I can't see my stocks right this second.
Oh my god. I was like legitimately annoyed when I looked at it yesterday because
Yeah.
Friday this penny stock I bought went up like $4 in one day, like overall from
Oh,
what I
right.
bought it. So like
Yeah.
it's got momentum, man. And then I look, it's just like nothing. I'm like, God damn. It's like you're killing my momentum, man. Like I had momentum. We were go. It's like a cold
Flatline.
shower. It's horrible. Now I have to hope that Monday when the market opens, my momentum starts up again. But I don't know.
Yeah. Who
I don't
knows?
like it.
Um, what industry is that penny stock? You said it was like a tool manufacturer kind of thing.
Um,
We think we don't really
Here,
know, but
I'll pull it up. They're called Tough Built. Um, Tough Built Industries Incorporated engages in marketing and distributing home improvement and construction product lines under
home improvement and construction.
yeah, it
So that sounds like a
offers
materials kind of thing.
it offers tool belts, pouches, bags, totes, business organization, knee pads, miter saw stands, sawhorses. That's
I want
everything it lists.
I want some business organization knee pads.
Hell yeah.
Do those count as business casual? Because I would wear those into work every day just to say that they did.
Honestly, I could probably get away with it where I work.
Well, yeah, you actually work in a place where that might make sense.
Yep.
I don't. This is business casual in other places.
Yes. This is my business formal knee pad. I
I'm
mean,
looking at my stocks now just to give myself a refresher on where everything's at.
yeah,
Everything I've invested in so far is positive, except
yeah.
for Spirit Airlines, which I'm not sure why I invested in Spirit. Now, come to think of it, because they just got bought out by Frontier like a month ago, so of
That
course they're not
does
doing well.
that
But
does seem like a mistake.
apparently, that didn't occur to me at the time.
I mean, I just sold off my shares in ExxonMobil and Shell. Then I'll take that and put it. I don't know what I'm gonna put it into. I'm thinking maybe American airline, maybe.
Yeah, let
I don't
me.
know.
Either American or United right now are the two
Yeah,
on the big upswing. I mean, all the airlines are comparable,
yeah.
but American and United have by far increased the most.
Well,
It's really the
I was looking at the 5 year plans for all the airlines and all the cruise lines.
yeah. The cruise lines don't look as good, I don't think.
Well, it's funny. You can literally see where COVID happened.
Oh yeah, it's shoop goes all the way down, and
Yeah,
then it stays there for like a year, and then it slowly
yeah,
comes back up, and then
yeah.
it drops again like a month ago.
God, it was funny. My brother's friend, when they were doing the whole lockdown thing,
Yeah.
he decided to actually buy like a year out a fucking cruise line ticket because it was like less than $100.
You know what? That's fair. I would take the risk for that.
Yeah, and he actually went, and he seemed to enjoy himself.
Well, good. Well,
Yeah,
hell yeah, you enjoy yourself for $100 cruise ticket.
hell yeah, why not?
For my work, I work for a small charter airline. So one of the contracts that we picked up was for shoot, who was it? It was for Viking Cruise Lines. for like to get passengers from the terminus of one of their South American cruises and bring them back to the United States and vice versa.
Right.
We still haven't figured out how to do that charter right, by the way. I don't want to go into detail for something that will be released publicly.
Probably good.
But for this cruise that we're taking people to and from, like tickets on the low end for it are like $13,000 a piece.
Jesus.
And that's the low end. The high end is like 35,000.
Like the low end.
And this is per person, not per room, per person.
Like the low end is more than both of my cars are worth combined.
I know. Let me look it up while I'm talking here to make sure those numbers aren't just made up anymore, because who knows. But yeah,
Unless they change.
You're right, they might have. Airline tickets in general are expensive to the point of it almost not being worth it anymore to fly.
Yeah.
At least regionally. I mean, I used to be able to get a ticket from like Philly to Cincinnati and back.
Yeah.
For like $250. Now it's like $300, $350 at least.
Yeah, I think I can still drive that for less.
Oh, you absolutely can, but I mean,
Even
since I have a lease car,
prices.
I've tried to be careful about my mileage more than anything else, just in case I do decide I want to return it at the end of the lease.
Yeah, as opposed to me, who, has a car that he already knows is going to hit like 250,000 miles.
You own two beaters at this point.
Oh yeah, but they still work.
Yeah, they do.
Oh yeah. Like it's amazing when you really get a car up in like the high mileage, and you're just like, how the fuck are you still running?
Okay. I'm almost at the prices that I'm looking for. It looks like the prices have actually dropped pretty significantly since the last time I looked, or I'm looking at a different thing.
Yeah.
It looks like it's not affordable. It's still like $5,000 a ticket.
Well, that's only one of my cars now.
Right.
Now I only
the
have
down payment on my house.
Yeah. No, my down payment was actually way less than that.
The one that we might be doing no. I think the one that my company is taking people to and from isn't listed on here anymore.
Oh.
They probably finished selling it because we're out of season for buying tickets for that now. But yeah. I want to tell that story now. So Nick and I used to work together at another undisclosed airline, and so we had just both walked in for the beginning of my shift. I usually got there a little bit earlier and was set up, and Nick walked in later, and he would always eat a sandwich right when he came in the door, basically. So he gets in, sits down, and there's other people changing shifts around us too. And so he's got a sandwich in his mouth, and our coworker comes in and goes, "Hey, Nick, what's up?" as he's walking by. And Nick turns around with his mouth full of sandwich and goes, and
look, it was a delicious sandwich.
You're a cretin, you know that?
Yeah, I know. Ham and cheese. That was toasted. It was toasted.
I don't think you've made a different sandwich than that in years.
No. Now I do turkey and cheese.
Oh, okay. You do mix it up a little bit,
It's a little better on the cholesterol.
Is it? Are turkey and chicken that much different?
Well, turkey and ham, yes.
Oh, sorry, not chicken. Yeah, ham.
Who the fuck eats a chicken, like lunch meat chicken sandwich? Who does that?
People do it, man. It's in the. I mean, I don't really do it.
Nobody should.
I mean, there's slabs of like, I guess it's ground chicken that I don't know how they get a chicken thing that big, but it's basically like a big ham.
I've seen it
wrapped, but it's a chicken wrapped up. Yeah.
Look, for whatever reason, the grocery store I go to, they stopped buying the turkey lunch meat and put chicken on it. So, I try it.
Yeah.
Horrible. It is
Is it?
not the same. It
Well,
is
yeah, because chicken stinks when you like wrap it up like that.
like, do not eat lunch meat chicken.
And
Lunch
it's,
meat
I
turkey,
mean,
great.
I don't think
Ham,
lunch meat chicken is
awesome.
that bad.
It's
Um,
horrible.
I
Fucking
mean, the
disgusting.
stuff that comes out of a box is bad. When you get it from a deli, I assume it's a little bit better, but you have like a little rinky-dink local market, so they're not going to have that.
Well, they do have a deli where I live.
Oh, do they have one in that
Yeah.
store? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I must have just never noticed it.
Yeah, nowadays I go in there, get 2 pounds of turkey, then eat through that for a week.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
In Philly, we have Dietz and Watson, which is it's a local like Jersey, Eastern Pennsylvania brand.
Yeah.
So you can get lunch meat and cheese super cheap because they're right here, and it's really nice. This might be the one cheap thing around here.
The only cheap thing.
Like it's like $6 a pound for meat or cheese.
He decided to run into the table.
Yeah, he does that. You sure he's not going blind or something?
I mean, he's a dog, so he's kind of already blind.
Well, I mean, fair, but
Silly dog. Oh, man.
I got something. What did I get that was kind of nasty? Oh, it wasn't nasty. For some reason I had forgotten that ham steaks exist. I mean, maybe I am. I don't know. But I had forgotten for some reason that ham steaks exist. That you can just buy a slab of cured ham and cook it and eat it.
Yeah.
I came to that discovery this week, and I realized that that's way cheaper than buying meat any other way.
How bad is it?
And it's not bad though. It's good.
Really?
Like it's real ham, just cut up into steak. It's like the block of ham in the deli, but they slice it into pieces that are like a 1/4 inch thick.
Huh. One day I might try that. I'm never gonna try it.
Yeah, I mean they sell it with like the breakfast meat and stuff.
Yeah.
So you can find it near like the sausage and the bacon. But
Okay.
yeah, I just got one of those and I put it in my pasta that I made this week. And it was really good.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get this podcast to keep going until this Duke Michigan State game ends.
How far through is it?
Hold on. Oh, about minute 15 left.
Okay.
So about an hour.
Yeah. What are we at? What are we at recording wise at this point?
1 hour and 8 minutes.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good long form podcast.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
So
I feel like we're pretty lacking in the good long form podcasts department these days. At least if you're not interested in like topic specific stuff.
True. Yeah.
Like there's not just a lot of like talk about just crap and let the conversation flow. The only podcasts I can think in recent time that have done that in long form is Rooster Teeth stuff.
Super Carl Brothers does one like that. It's some popcorn culture.
Yeah. Oh, is that what they call it these days? Maybe I've just been looking for the wrong thing then.
Well, that's what they call their podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like literally there is no topic. They just talk about whatever.
Yeah. Because I mean, I can search for specific topics and find long running shows like all the time.
Yeah.
But when you don't really know what you want to listen to and you just want someone entertaining to listen to talk to, I just feel like there's not that much out there.
True. So now here's the one question that I've actually been waiting till the end to ask.
Yeah.
So I like how we're over an hour in.
Uh-huh.
And we still don't know what to name this thing.
Oh yeah, we never thought about that, did we?
Nope. I was wondering, like, right before we went on, I was like, we don't have a name, do we? Nope.
Hang on. I think we have a name.
Okay.
Our name is What Is This? The podcast.
What is this? Like, how would we type this out? How would we do
Well,
it?
the title is just What Is This? Question mark. Like that's the name of the show, and then you could have like the episodic titles or whatever you want to do after that.
Okay, are we wanting to do one question mark or
Yeah, probably just one. I don't think we're like interrogatory exclaiming things, you know.
here's a here, you know
I think
what?
it's more of a gently stated what are we doing? Because
Right.
we clearly didn't have a plan. But
I
we're
don't
also
think
not upset about it, you know?
true. I don't think I've ever here. I'll send you a message with it. Let's see here. What is this?
You know, speaking of Achievement Hunter Rooster Teeth stuff,
Did you get it?
yeah, I got it.
How's that?
You need to learn proper punctuation in publication. Is capitalized in that case, but yes, it looks good. Other than
Is
that,
it?
yeah,
Oh.
it is.
I don't think it is.
It's a 3-word title.
Yeah, but you don't capitalize every word in the title.
Yeah, but it looks wrong.
So you're wanting to capitalize is.
Jesus Christ, I didn't think this was going to be an academic debate.
It's important.
I mean, it is. You're not wrong.
There. How's that one?
I like that you bothered to send another one as if I couldn't picture what a capital I looked like there. It looks better. Thank you.
Here, I'll send you another one.
Oh God, what's it going to be? I'm also looking up a podcast.
I hit the tab button. Wrong button.
Okay, here I found one. Called "What Is Money." They don't capitalize the I actually. Interestingly enough, but I think it looks just as wrong. What? Hang on. I'm looking at it. Who are you, Jar Jar Binks? He sent me Hwat, W-A-T, all caps, E-C, this, question mark, exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point, question mark, explanation point, question mark, exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point.
So is that the title?
That can be the episodic title. Yes.
You know what? I like it. So it'll read.
Hwat.
What is this?
Is that how we pronounce the question mark exclamation point over and over again? Does that just turn into a yodel off of this?
Yes. Yes.
This.
Yes, it does. And
we
it'll be.
We need to codify language like this.
Yes, we do. It'll be that episode 1. What is this?
What is the yes? Now we will become refined in episode 2, and it becomes what is this?
So episode 2 will be that.
Yes, it will be that. I'm gonna screenshot this little portion of our chat and highlight exactly what's going on, so you can like put this in a box in the video when we go to edit it later.
Okay.
Let's see. Title. I'm just posting it in the Discord, and you can bring it down later, and we can honestly cut this little portion where I'm just talking about it right now. If we want to, we can leave it in too. I don't care. Just so we don't lose it. But the top is our actual podcast title that we think we're going with. The second line is that rather egregious episodic title, which we are also going with, and I guess I think you said the third one's wrong though. I think
Third,
to highlight the Hwatness of it, you should spell it HWAT. Is this?
Actually,
You're typing it out, aren't you? Yes, you are.
I'm tweaking it.
Oh, okay. I don't hear any squeaking. Usually, tweaking involves some sort of squeaking. That just looks janky.
Okay,
But
okay.
it's still better though.
Here, let's try this.
What is this?
Yeah, add more
That
H's.
feels like it's supposed to be read as though you're hawking something up while you say it.
Okay, how about this?
It's like the Jeff Dunham bit where it's the terrorist skeleton going A C phlegm.
Oh yes, Ahmed but the terrorist.
Right, yes, Ahmed.
There,
Or
how's
Ahmed.
that?
What is this?
You'll have to screenshot this
All
one
right,
too.
this is devolving very quickly. Maybe we should cut this off now.
Maybe.
I think it's time.
Well, that was the first episode of What Is This?
Yes, it
Or is
was.
this just
Regardless of what inflection you choose to use with it. But I'll screenshot that as well later so we can have the whole thing up for everyone.
yes.
Anyways, thanks for listening, anyone who bothered to. I mean, it's not like we put any marketing effort into this. This is just for the sake of it.
Yep.
So we'll see you eventually whenever we decide to do it again. But I think it was a good time.
Oh yeah, I had fun. Like, comment, and subscribe.
I guess this is going on YouTube, huh? I didn't even think of that. Okay.
Well, yeah,
anyways.
I can't be bothered to figure out how to do it on the other stuff. So YouTube,
What other stuff even?
like Apple
this doesn't.
Play, Spotify, all that shit.
Yeah, but now we codified visual stuff into it, so that wouldn't even make sense anymore.
True. Oh, awesome. Well, that saves me some work and research.
Right.
Oh yeah. Remember, I am fucking lazy.
Okay, I think that's time.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Boy.
Boy.